Jesus, the night before he would die for the sins of the world, Judas has already agreed to betray him. He's already told Peter, look, man, look, Pete, which is why I like Texas Pete, because I figure there's a biblical. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't quote that. But I do like Texas Pete, just for the record. So he's already told Peter, look, Pete, you're going to deny me 3 times. They've already had the Last Supper. And so Jesus takes his disciples to Gathsemane, and he says, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pull up a tree stump, and I want you to hang out here. Me, Peter, James, and John, we're going to go on into the garden. So sure enough, he takes the 3 of them, and they go a little bit further into the garden, and they get to a point, and Jesus says, Peter, James, and John, you pull up a tree stump too, and you just hang out right here, and I want you to keep watch while I'll go off into the garden a little more to pray. See, at this point, Jesus knew the severity of this. Jesus, it says that he was overcome with sorrow. It was a big moment. This was the moment that he had been living for. I mean, this was it, but it was so hard. It was so painful. He knew that some of his men were going to betray him. He knew that some of his men were going to deny him. He knew what was coming. And so he said, Peter, James, and John, if you'll just stay here and keep watch while I go off into the garden a little more and pray. So he goes and he prays a little bit and he comes back, and the 3 of them during Jesus' biggest hour are asleep instead of keeping watch like they should have done. So Jesus is like, what are y'all doing? This is it. This is my moment. I love you this much. Stay here. Keep watch. Stay awake. So he goes back off into the garden, and with his face down in the dirt, he begs to his Father, if there is any other way, if these people can be saved any other way, if there's any other plan that you could put into place, if there's a plan B and I don't have to go through this, then God, can we do that? And the Bible says in Matthew 26:42, it says, then Jesus left them a second time and prayed, my Father, if this cup cannot be taken away unless I drink it, your will be done. Whose will? His Father's. Because Jesus, in one of the darkest moments in history, realizes that it's not where he is. It's not that his disciples have fallen asleep. It's not that he's about to die for his sins. It's not where he is, but it's who he is that really matters. Jesus steps into his place in the puzzle and says, Father, he knows who's in charge. Not my will, but yours be done. We have to let our identity, not our situation, determine our destination.